a Dutch car company? No? Well, there is one. Spyker. Now, 100 years ago, Spyker was making stuff like this. They moved on to this sort of thing. And then in the First World War, they made some rather splendid fighter aircraft, like this one. They even made a golden coach for the Hollish royal family. And this sort of thing made them the Rolls-Royce of Dutchland, the byword for sumptuousness and velvet and the Baroque. But I'm afraid it didn't do them any good, because by 1925, they'd gone bust. Well, fortunately, they're back, and they've built a car. And Jeremy's been driving it.
This is it, the C8. And I'm sure you're wondering at this point, how on earth can such a thing have come out of Holland?
Ah, well, you see, there are two Hollands. One where everyone goes on holiday in a caravan, and there are tulips. And then you've got the other, which is full of drunk Liverpudlians vomiting on Filipino girls.
So, want to guess which part of Holland this is from? Yep, it's an Amsterdammer. And there are other examples of this Dutch schizophrenia as well.
Rembrandt. He was Dutch, and all he ever painted were businessmen in darkened rooms doing accountancy. But Van Gogh was also Dutch, and he went to the south of France and cut his ear off.
So, is this a Rembrandt or a Van Gogh, do you think? Well, I certainly don't see any ears. This, then, is the latest example of Holland's mad side. It's a drug-crazed pornographer with a penchant for euthanasia and a boyfriend. The most amazing thing about it is its interior. I've never seen anything like this before. It's absolutely stunning. When you peel away the aluminium body, it's easy to see why. There really isn't much left, just the engine. It's a 4.2-litre Audi V8, and you'd imagine that that would be enough to give the featherweight car plenty of oomph. But oh no.
The guys from Holland bought the engine from the sensible Germans, had a bit of a smoke, fiddled around with the engine management system, upped the power from 360 to 400, slotted it in. Now it goes like stink.
Because it has the same power output as a Ferrari 360 but only weighs the same as a toaster, it'll get from 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds. And on to a top speed of 187. Sounds good too. And if that isn't enough, the engine is also available with some blow.
Yep, they're working on a twin-turbo version with 525 brake horsepower.
Don't be taken in by the F1-style suspension or the racing harnesses or that elaborate pedal box. The Spyker shouts the Ferrari shout, but were the two to meet, the red car would simply pass the Dutchie on the left-hand side and be gone. This, then, is not for the hairy-chested, gung-ho playboy racer who likes to go everywhere sideways. Its appeal is more subtle than that.
This is a car you wear rather than drive. You pull on your Manolo Blahnik shoes, you grab your Lulu Guinness handbag, clip on your Georg Jensen earrings, and then step outside into your Spyker C8. The interior, the frameless windows, the exposed gear linkage, the upholstery, quilted like a smoking jacket. It's like sitting in a fashion accessory. I mean, look at this horn. It's not the sort of aggressive thing you get on an Italian car. That, get out of my way, earthling horn. It's more the kind of thing you use to attract the attention of other people in your tax haven. Morning, Valentino.
So, it might not work as a rival for Ferrari and Porsche and Lambo on the track, but it works brilliantly, parked outside the best restaurant in town. It really is one amazing-looking thing.
My only slight reservation, and it is only slight, is this grille which makes the front of the car look like a fish. Not a cod or a shark, not a kind of swimmy one, more a sort of bottom feeder. But then it is Dutch, and they like that kind of thing.
This then is more than a car. It's your lover also.
Sure. It's no good then?
No, it's fantastic. I mean, let's be honest. There are plenty of people who like to look good at 40 rather than driving around like their hair's on fire at 400. Well, you, exactly. Classic case in point.
Right-hand drive?
Yes, they'll do it in right-hand drive, and they say that since I drove it, they've done something about the brakes, and they also say that they've done something to kill that understeer. So to find out if it worked, we handed it over to our colleague and our driver also, the stick. Okay, a little smoke off the line and away it goes. Now the stick's got the hard top on, which should help the aerodynamics, make it faster on the straights. This is the first bend though. Looks like the tail's coming out a bit. That is surprising. Oh yes, of course, it's Golden Earring, crazy Dutch music and a crazy Dutch car. Coming up to Chicago. And it's trying to oversteer again by the looks of things. Big question is really, how will the Spyker fare around Hammerhead? Bit wobbly under braking. This is the real test of understeery cars. Oh, he's gone very sideways there. Ooh, very sideways. Seems like in their attempts to get rid of understeer, Spyker seem to have brought on roll oversteer. Mind you, he's flat through, follow through. Still flat. On a lift, 2 more corners to go. Time over the first half suffered for the oversteer. Can he make it up in the last little bit? A bit more sliding there in Gambon and across the line in 1 minute 27.3. So that goes there.
That's not bad for a smoking jacket.
No, really, look, I mean, it's quicker than a Subaru Impreza, the new one. Quicker than DB7 GT.
That's remarkable.
It is, what, 1.5 seconds slower than Lamborghini Gallardo, but then if you look at it this way, if this were the cool wall, I mean, it would be kind of in your ear.
Yeah.
Really.
That's not the end of the track action, because earlier